Welcome to the fish room. This is Susan with, what is it? SLC Aquatics coming to you live from the fish room. How is everyone doing tonight? I hope you're having a great Tuesday. And I'm setting up my screen, so hang in there. Gotta slide the chat over. Hope everybody's been doing good. Hey, Daryl, how are you doing, man? I'm so glad you could make it tonight, and I hope everybody's doing well. There's a lot of tragedies going on, flooding and tornadoes and crazy storms, and I just hope that you're safe. Hey, spoiled fish, and hey, the cove, how you doing? Anna, oh, good to have you all with me tonight. It's been so long, and I've been so busy, and I'm tired of burning rubber on the road. Hey, Daniel, keeping fish. Good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. I know it's late for you. Thank you for coming out and joining the chat. I don't have anything planned for tonight because I'm just waking up from a nap. And nap seems to be something that I'm lacking in. And when I do sit down, I just fall asleep. I've been to Virginia to visit Mom for 3 days, and that was a long road trip. That was 12 hours one way, and we were able to spend 3 days with her. We were able to help her move some furniture around and to hang some pictures on the wall. She's been in her new apartment for about a year now, and things are slowly coming together for her. Hey, Kayla Aquatics, how you doing, Bob? Hey, Nessa, MSA Ness. Hey, lady. Is everybody hearing me okay? Audio okay? Video okay? I'm actually coming from Google Hangout tonight because I want to add you guys to the live panel tonight. Those who want to log on, those who want to come in, because even though I have a channel, I'm a YouTube creator. If you are a YouTube creator, I want to invite you live onto the stream tonight, loud and clear and crystal. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Nessa. I want you to be on the panel as well. So, Daryl, I'm going to start sharing the link, and you can copy it and share it anytime in the stream. And when I see it pop up, I think that's it. They're doing things different now. So there's the link for anybody who wants to join me live on the live stream tonight in a panel. And if you are especially a YouTube creator, I want you to tell us about your channel, how it's going, because I've been out of sorts for about 3 weeks. I just got back from Georgia Sunday night. My oldest grandson graduated from high school, and my, he is so handsome, and we are so proud of him. And in September, he goes off to boot camp in the Navy. So my love and my prayers are for him. And I want him to do a really good job. I'm cleaning up after making dinner, listening and dipping in and out of the chat. Okay, Vanessa. Hey, Melvin, how you doing tonight? Good to see you, Melvin. Jess Shrimp Granny. Hey, sweetheart. you're a new subscriber, and I thank you so much and welcome to the channel. Hey guys, first live stream with Susan. Congrats to your grandson. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and welcome you to the channel. I hope you've been able to surf around and look at some of my live streams and look at some of my content that I've uploaded. Um, I thought I was going to do really good the week I went to Virginia because I scheduled 3 videos, and I think I popped 1 or 2 extra content in there just to keep the activity going. And my view time stayed up, but it didn't really increase. And the series was how to ship live fish in boxes. And I really thought that series was going to do a lot better than it did. It didn't even hit 100 views. And I think part 1 has about 70 views in it. So, you experiment, you try different things. Spoiled Fish says your grandson's going to have the best time of his life. Yes, he is. I'm Army, and my first husband was U.S. Navy. So after I got out of the Army, I became a Navy wife. And my father was in World War I in the Army Air Corps, and Rod is ex-Air Force. So also my grandson's dad is ex-Navy. So he is following in his footsteps, having a good time. Jess says, I'm trying to play catch up. I subscribed to a lot of channels this week. I understand watching people's channels and staying in the know. Aquatic Express. Hey, Donald, how you doing? I've been watching your videos that you put up on Instagram, and I said, wait a minute, those fish look familiar. And anyway, your tank looks great. TJ's Exotics. Hello, TJ. How you doing? Doing great, Susan. Yes, thank you. Fancytailaquatics. Hey, Scott. How you doing? I wanted to invite you to the panel. You can leave your camera muted if you want to, or have your camera on one of your fish tanks, Scott, because I didn't get to watch your video yet for the American Live Bearers Association meeting. And if you wanted to join me live tonight, Bob's sharing the Patreon. Thanks, Bob. Here's the Hangouts link. Anybody who wants to join me live on the panel tonight, I'm doing Google Hangouts, so I want you to feel free to join me. I am missing people. Joseph came in. Oh my God, the audience is growing and my chat is spinning. Let me go back up those that I've missed that came in. Daniel, Keeping Fish, Melvin, Bob Kaler, Aquatic Express. Let's see, TJ Exotics. We have Scott with Fancytailaquatics. We have 808 Tank. Hey, baby, how you doing? Joseph JH Aquatics is in the house. Hey, Joseph. And who else has come in? Oh, hallelujah. Fancy Tale says the American Live Bearer was a letdown. Oh, I'm so sorry, Scott. I really thought about I was going to make it, and then my grandson's graduation came up, and because I sure would have driven up to Louisville, Kentucky. Peace. Yes, I love you. 808 Tank. Let's see. Bob, thanks for sharing my link, sweetheart. Yeah, don't forget that like button. But if you want to join me live on the panel tonight, please click that Hangouts, Google Hangouts link and join me live tonight because it's going to be an open forum for us YouTube creators here in the Fish Fam community. And I want to know how your channel's growing. I think Susie Q over at Susie Q Aquatics and Exotics just hit 1,000. So congratulations to her. I'm over 1,000, but my views have dropped back down again. Mainly, if you don't keep content going up almost every day, your views are going to go down unless you got some hot topic. And I'm trying to think of some hot topic, but the last 3 weeks I've been very busy. Hey, Scott, how you doing?
Doing fine. How are y'all doing?
For some reason, I don't have a mic.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out.
Let me see. Well, looks like Google Hangout has changed its format. Because control panel's gone. All right, Scott, do you have a mic?
I do. I think it's working.
I see you're talking, but I don't hear you. And
Yes.
nope, I still don't hear you. Keep trying. It could be my app. I don't know.
Test. Hello, all. Huh. Seems delayed.
Keep trying, Scott. All right. Y'all hear him, but I don't hear him. Okay, my speaker could be muted, so let me work on my end. It's probably my mixer. I know what I'm going to do. I've got to find me some earbuds. I'll be back. Scott, take it away.
Well, I'm not sure how to take it away, honestly. Hey, Cove, Bob, Legacy, Daniel, Jess. How y'all doing? But, hope everybody can hear me. But definitely a delay in here. I might need to sign off and back on. Maybe it's on my end. I don't know. Hey, Daryl.
Yeah, it's a delay. I got you now. I had to put some earbuds in. Yeah, you have to pretty much not watch yourself. Yeah, you're going to have to mute the live stream.
All right, that might be it then. I don't know. I've got two windows open, Google Hangouts and you.
Yeah, you got to mute the live stream
Oh,
so we don't hear an echo.
hang on. Working on it.
That's all right. Uh-huh.
All right, is it delayed or off now?
Yeah. You can leave Google open, but mute YouTube.
Yeah, I just did it.
Sounds good to me. Nope, I still hear the delay.
Ugh.
Okay. All right. We are suffering through technicalities.
Huh.
It's probably me, Scott. It's me. It's my end. All right, let's try it again, Scott.
Well, I'll be quiet until further review.
It was on my end. Oh, it's been so long since I did a Google Hangout. So, where is your channel at right now, Scott?
I am at I don't know, somewhere about 533 people, roughly 536.
Great. If anybody is not a subscriber to Fancytailaquatics, I want you to go over there and click subscribe on that and show love for love. That's what we do. We show love for love. We don't say sub for sub. We say love for love.
That's right. I mean, you know, I've always said, if you subscribe to somebody, enjoy what they're doing and watch what they do. And if you don't like it, unsubscribe or at least subscribe and just don't watch the channel, you know, whatever.
Yeah, help each other out. And if you can, watch some content from time to time. And a lot of times I'll get to watch new releases and get caught up. And then I have to go back through the channel from time to time to look at how many videos were released and how often. And I try to play playlists and stuff like that to try to catch up. But after you subscribe to over 1,000 channels, you can't watch everybody.
Oh, I hear you. I mean, my biggest faux pas, if you will, is on Saturdays, missing D's live streams and a bunch of people on Saturdays because they do it all throughout the day. And that's one of my busier shipping days, and try to catch up with you and catch up with Daryl and Bob. And literally, I have so many people I'm sub to, and I don't always get the notifications like I should.
Yeah. And I found out 2 months ago, I went into my spam folder and there was everybody's YouTube notification. So all of a sudden, my spam folder or my email client decided that all these YouTube notifications were spam.
Well, don't that beat all?
It did. I had to go through, I don't know, 50 of them and
Right.
send them back to my inbox. It was crazy.
But I didn't mean to hijack your channel. You do you, and I'll kind of be quiet in the background. And
Well, you're not hijacking. I'm open the floor tonight to YouTube creators in the Fish Fam community, and I saw that you did post an ALA video, but I didn't get to watch it, so I wanted to know. I'm sorry it was a disappointment, but was there anything at all that you found interesting in that meeting?
well, the problem was when I went, and the website itself was not very conducive to, you know, I mean, there was like fees to enter, you know, like $65 or whatever, you know, for talks, for maybe a buffet, a wine tasting, yada yada yada. But you know, I didn't go. I would have paid money at the door, Okay, and it was hard enough to find in this hotel room. And I went in there and I filmed it, and every one of y'all can see exactly what I filmed. Literally took me 20 minutes. There was 4 vendors in there. Somebody selling plants, and that's cool, but not really my thing. There was a representative for Sierra, and I got his card, and we might try to do some business. And there was a books, a nice bookseller. I bought a bunch of books, well, several books anyway. And then there was a whatever the other guy, a Cobalt representative. But it was funny. I stood at his table for about 10 minutes, and the guy never acknowledged me. So there was 4 vendors and a bunch of tanks that people put fish into. I guess they were being, scored or whatever, and that's fine. I saw a total of 4 guppies there, a bunch of swordtails, some platies, and I really don't understand, how do you pronounce it? Gouliads?
I think Goodyads.
Right, and I don't really get that very much, because I'm not, I don't deal with that. But other than that, literally 20, 25 minutes in, now I just spent an hour and a half there. I thought, what am I going to do? There's nothing left to film,
Yeah, that can be a disappointment sometimes, especially a small group like that that's been, what, is this their 3rd or 4th year?
Oh no, about their 25th year. Well, not in Louisville, but they've had it going on for years and years and years, and maybe I was expecting an LR Bretts or a Corey from Aquarium Co-op to show up or whatever. And they did have a bunch of speakers, but you had to pay to attend those. They had a hospitality room, but you had to pay for that. They had fish sales at night at 8 o'clock to 11, room to room, but nobody gave you directions of what rooms to go to, who had fish for sale. There was nobody in the room that I filmed in that had fish for sale. And again, I'm not knocking it at all, people. Okay, I'm not. I know it takes a lot of time and effort, to put these shows on. I know Sandy Moore was going to be there, and I'm going to try to visit her fish farm when I go to Tampa Bay in about 6 or 8 weeks. I'm going to try to film, her place there. Why is the name escaping me? Oh boy.
It'll come back to you.
It's the biggest fish farm around Tampa Bay. I mean, Seacrest Farms.
Okay,
I'm going to try to film her. I've got other things set up. I'll try to contact her tomorrow or the day after. But it just simply, I don't know. And I even thought, man, there might be a nacho vendor there or something. Maybe I could get a hot dog. There was nothing like that. I was just complete. What I should have done, in all honesty, was is his name Randy Wessel? Oh boy, I'm getting his name mixed up. But anyway, he has a huge, nice fish aquarium site, mostly cichlids and that type. He's built his own house that the sunlight comes in at certain times of the year, and it points over to light certain tanks up. And I would have loved to have gone and visited him, but it was on Thursday. It was just inconvenient to me because I just couldn't do it. But other than that, there just wasn't a lot for me to do there, and I'll leave it at that.
Well, thank you. The people in the chat were asking you to definitely go over the ALA meeting with us, and you called some names that I personally am not familiar with. And the irony of the fact was, during the ALA convention, I think I was traveling down 81, 24, and 40 from Alabama to Georgia to Virginia, during the same time the meet was going on. And um, if it wasn't a 12-hour drive for us, I would have taken some time and just popped in. But I myself haven't joined it yet. And I appreciate you even giving us the heads up, I think at the early part of the year or maybe the last part of last year, to letting us know in the Fish Fam community that the ALA was even meet in Louisville, Kentucky this year. And Bob Kaler said he wanted you to go over it too, and he appreciates you filling us in on some of the fish. And I know a lot of times they I guess magnify on the swordtails. I know there's lots of live bearers. Do they have any wild caught live bearers in their program?
I believe so. I did see endlers that I've never seen before. I would assume they are either wild or off species. They weren't your typical blue star endlers or any of that stuff. They were just kind of, they definitely looked like some were wild caught. Like a lot of the swordtails, oh, they were beautiful. Like pineapple swordtails, things you don't really see in the hobby or they're hard to get. There were a bunch of swordtails that were, oh my goodness, I wish I did the video and I tried to record every name tag that was available. But they were black and gold, dotted like a Dalmatian. I've never seen anything like that. I
Mm.
don't understand Gouliads, if that's what you call them. So I'm not familiar with that species. There were some beautiful fish I filmed. I mean, absolutely, that I have never ever seen on auctions for sale or anything like that. So I give them all the credit. And again, nothing they did wrong. It's just maybe my expectation of a mini Aquashella was pretty diminished.
Yeah, those special programs can probably blow other conventions out of the water because um, they're so planned. And now the fish fam community, the fish tubers are uh, really organizing the meets, and we're kind of taking over their conventions.
That could be. I mean, I'll tell you what, I've had, and I hate to say this, the Louisville Tropical Fish Keepers is the one that sponsored this. I've had a better time going to see them at the library when they put together their meets than I really had there. I just had a much higher expectation. That's my own fault. Okay. I planned this all in my head, so I messed up.
That's all right. I appreciate you filling us in on that. I also wanted to talk to Susie Q. She came in, Q Aquatics. I wanted to
Yes.
congratulate her on her 1,000
Yes,
subs.
she absolutely hit it. She rocks.
She does. Oh, she just blows me away. Susie, I'm posting the link now in the chat. If you wanted to join Scott and me live in the panel tonight, we are open panel tonight, inviting all YouTube creators in the Fish Fam community to fill us in and let us know about your channel, where it's at, where it's going. And if she joins us, Scott, fine. If she doesn't, that's okay. But I also wanted to ask you about how is your food line products going and your store going?
It's going okay. The dry sales have slowed down, but this month alone, I've sold $1,000 worth of guppies.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. But it's feast or famine with me because I got to breed a lot of these guppies out for 4 to 6 months out of the year, like in the winter, to get them ready for the summer. And I have a professional photographer that I would love to list his name, Biljan Sanjin, but whatever. He takes all my pictures. I send the fish to him. He's got probably $10,000 in photography equipment, and he puts them through everything, takes all the great pictures that you will see when you look at me on eBay. And as of right now, my purple Moscows, I had I sold so many of the deep dark, I had to put them on hold, and these were going for $65 a trio. Okay. And I had to put them on hold because it's depleting my entire tank. So certain fish sell better than others. Unfortunately, I've got about 3 lines I have to kill. When I say kill, I don't mean kill. I never cull. Well, when I say cull, I don't put them to death. But my red albinos that I loved, it's just so inbred, so many bad spines on them. The colors are still great, but getting humpbacks, bent tails, my half black albino pastels, same thing. Because a lot of my problem is a lot of my tanks are on the ground because I'm kind of short. I'm only 5'4", so I don't get to watch those tanks as much as I do the upper ones. And when the upper ones, when I spot something that's not kosher, I can net it and get it out of the way. So I'm going to lose about 3 lines, but that's okay because what I'm going to do is put them all in a quote unquote cold tank. And then that'll just free up 3 new tanks, and let's just see what other fish I can get in this year.
Yeah, I ran into problems with my half moon mosaics. It became they're very prolific. And so the tank became overstocked, and I wasn't doing enough water changes. So the ones that had really bent spines, and believe me, I had some jacked up ones, I took them out and put them in the 25-gallon over here with the gourami, and I did, I think, 2 big water changes back to back, and amazingly, 2 or 3 of them that had some bent spines cleared up. So it had to be the water quality in the original tank that they were in. So I started doing 50% water changes once a week for about 3 or 4 weeks. And then eventually everybody started looking a little bit better. So I said, well, I guess that's me, the breeder's problem. And it can get inbred. So I'm watching them. So far, the males are still producing beautiful. They're not really half moon tails, but the females have the half moon trait. But the males have a more of a veil tail or a delta tail. But they have those really big, thick bodies, and that stream that um, got going last spring by accident that got mixed with my blue-green Moscows. I miss them because I don't have any of them left. But that new uh, strain that I'm calling the yellow mosaic tigers, the F3 put off some crazy colorful males that were almost like fluorescent mint green, fluorescent orange, and I haven't seen any blues come out of it, but they are some crazy looking, beautiful fish. Oh, Scott, people are asking for you to put your link in the chat.
I'm trying to figure that out. I'm sorry.
Make sure you put HTTPS in front of it, or at least www dot whatever.
Well, I don't have a website per se. I've mainly got an eBay type deal, but I do have a link that shows all the things I'm selling. And then, of course, YouTube. Y'all can find me at Fancytailaquatics on YouTube, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'll try to find that. Hi, Susie Q. And I saw that. And back to answer you, Susan, I know of 2 things that cause bent spines. You are absolutely 100% correct. It's genetics and bad water, period.
And
Typically,
light. And
I'm
lighting.
sorry.
And lighting.
Well, that's new to me then.
Right. When the fry are born, it's important to give them 12-hour a day light, and because of I guess some kind of calcium thing going on in their nervous system. And I think, boy, I'm tired. Uh, what's the big guppy, fancy guppy? The IFGA, the
Right.
internet. Yeah, when you're a lot of their beginning guides that's free on the internet. That's the first thing I learned 4 years ago was lighting for your fry, at least 12 hours of light a day, and then you can start weaning them back as they're 3 and 4 months old. But those first 2 months of birth, they need at least 12 hours of light a day.
Well, now we're asking for algae issues, though, aren't we?
Yeah, but that's good for fry.
Well, it's great for fry. It's not so much fun if you have to catch them to ship them out.
True. You got to keep that at least one pain free.
Right. I mean, I keep my tanks. If y'all have seen any of my videos, they are absolutely stuffed with either green algae, hornwort, Java moss, whatever. They are completely compact. But man, I got to take a lot of green hair algae out about every couple days because I try to do lights typically about 10 hours a day. Am I that good with it? Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Sometimes you're right. It goes 12 to 14. But I do have, if y'all look at any of my fish line, my personal branded stuff, I have egg flake, meant for the fry. I've got earthworm flake, meant for breeding. I've got, man, about, I don't know, eight different brands of food. Then I carry Repashy and all that. But I try to vary the food a lot. I find that helps. But yeah, you got to stay, like you say, you have to stay on top of culling and water changes. And I'll be the first to admit with y'all, I
That
don't have
don't
an
happen.
automatic. I don't have an automatic water change system. And sometimes carrying a 5-gallon bucket to the bathroom for the 10-gallon tank is just more effort than I'm going to put in that day. But the other ones are a lot easier to change that are actually in the fish room.
Yeah, it sounds like you really have the best type of breeding tanks. And, I don't have any show tanks. All of mine are for breeding. And something that helped me with that green hair algae was API stress zyme. And with every water change, I put that stress zyme in there where I was having that silky green hair algae. And it helps with the slime build up, slime coat, not slime coat on the fish. I guess the slime that builds up in your filters. It really helps. It's good beneficial bacteria. First of all, that's what stress zyme is, but it helped diminish that green slimy hair algae in my tanks. I don't know if your water is similar to mine or not. Bob was saying that I have American greens from Rick at BAM Aquatics. Yes, I do. I do have the American greens, and they're not breeding a lot, but they are breeding. I got to add some crushed coral over there to give them a boost, and of course they're in one of my that new 15-gallon that I have. But these half moon mosaics, I can just turn my back on them, and they're gonna have babies.
Is there any update on Rick? I have not seen him in ages.
I talked to him probably a month ago, and that's when I got some more American greens from him. But he's just he's laying low,
Okay.
so we just keep lifting him up.
Yeah, no problem. I get that. And you know what I told him originally? The problem with this hobby, people, you get addicted to one tank and you want to go in full bore and you don't understand how much labor is involved in keeping all these tanks. Constant water changes, constant culling, constant this, constant that. And I think, the problem is, you go in full bore, you're either going to be you know, on aquarium co-op level, or you're just going to end up crashing a bunch of tanks, losing a bunch of fish, getting really sad and quitting, or, you know, life overcomes what you're trying to do.
Yeah, and the the beautiful thing about this hobby, you know, I've downsized once and I've almost built back up to where I was, but I have what I want now. What happened to me at the end of last year, I was taking rescue bettas, and I took on 3 5-gallon tanks and 5 bettas. Well, I love the betta fish, but that's not what I wanted to do in my hobby. So when Rick and I got together, you know, he ended up buying 3 of mine, and that got rid of those 3 5-gallon tanks that I did not want, even though it made this rack behind me look really nice. I'd rather have uh, 10-gallon tanks in there with guppy strains than my bettas, even though I love bettas, don't get me wrong. But every breeder and every hobbyist has their favorite fish. And I started with guppies from a child, and I started 4 years ago with guppies again. I have different strains of guppies than I've ever had. And I kind of miss my black Moscows and my, what are those yellow sunrise tequila sunrise.
Tequilas? Yeah.
Yeah, I miss them because they were you know, they were very good breeders. And
Right.
but my the inbreeding on that, they all turned into snake skins, and then I started getting top sword snake skins out of them, short bodies, and I'm like, oh, they're cute. And when I took them to my LFS, the girl there just loved them. I said, "Well, how many you want? You want about 100 of them?"
Right.
Because my tequila sunrises just disappeared and they all became snake skins.
Oh, I hear you. Hey,
Yeah,
Kendall, how you doing with Otter Creek? Um, but yeah, another plan of mine. I have 2 different cold tanks. One of them is where I call it a cold tank. I just kind of throw in one good healthy fish of this, one good healthy fish of that, and man, some are looking beautiful. Now, my other cold tank is going to be more the bet spines, the way off colors, and I do have local people that pick up out of my main cold tank about, I don't know, from Louisville. You know, there's about 4 or 5 people that, you know, come and pick them up. That's good. That means I don't have to take them to the pet store. Unfortunately, the other cold tank, when it gets too full, well, I guess they're going to become feeders. I'll take them to Sandy's Pets or whatever and say, hey, I don't want nothing for these. Can you put them in the feeder tank? Because I can't stand to kill fish. That's just my premise, unless they look in excruciating pain. I had one I had to put asleep last year, and I even cried. I think I did a video on it. I used clove oil, very great euthanasia, but she looked like a V. I mean, the thing couldn't swim. It just, I know it was horrible, you know, and people might flush them down the toilet. Don't do that stuff, people. Look up euthanasia on fish. There is humane ways to do things, and I'll just leave it there.
I agree with that. And feeding, making them feeder fish, taking them in, to me is a humane way because it's still part of the life cycle and it's going to happen in nature. So, you know, pat yourself on the back for that. Okay.
I agree there. It's just, unfortunately, it's part of this hobby. If you are a humane fish keeper, I believe, you know.
I really do. I have used the clove oil before, but I think 2 years ago when I culled some of my really um, bad fish that ended up getting a lot of secondary bacteria and internal bacterial infections after that, cameloanus worms, and I think it was about 50 fish I culled one night. But my mistake was trying to cull them all at the same time to get it over with, and that was so cruel. It was just so cruel. There wasn't enough cloval anywhere that could have solved that issue.
Right. One thing I'm considering this year. Thanks a lot, Bob. Apparently he's seen my quote unquote my good cold tank, which is just they're fish from, they're good fish. They don't have a lot of bent spines. I just throw in every once in a while. I'll take a purple Moscow and throw it in with I don't know, a sunset or a half black albino, and just throw them in the tank and just kind of see what they come to. And I guarantee they're prettier fish than you ever see. One thing I'm considering this year, and I don't know how cruel it would be or if it's cruel at all, and to see what would happen, but buying a baby swimming pool, and putting it out on a deck and tossing a lot of the coals into there that have bad back problems and this and that, and see maybe what I get out of it. Of course, you have to worry about parasites and mosquitoes and dragonflies and all that,
Yeah, the mosquitoes are going to be good for them. You won't have to feed them too many flakes for the mosquito larvae, but add some floating plants to give them some shade from the sun, from the heat and the temperature. The dragonfly larvae are going to be a menace anyway, and you're going to have to try to catch them as soon as you see them eating some of your whole fish. And a swimming pool's not bad. It's just not deep enough unless you get it 18 inches or more.
Oh, I'm talking about one of those swimming pools that fold over and get about 36 inches deep.
Okay, that's a big, yeah.
Oh yeah,
That'll
hey,
be fun.
go big or go home, man.
Yeah. I'm a lady. I think conservative. Guys think, wow, take the limit off.
I'm taking the Tim Taylor method. I mean, soup it up.
That's too cute. Do you have any merchandise that you like to advertise?
I do sell my T-shirts and that type of thing. I'm working on right now, and this is cute. I just got a hold of. I got lucky. I walked into a barbershop at random, and the guy gave me a free keychain because he couldn't take me. And this is kind of an elite barbershop. They charge $25 for men's cuts and shaving. He's only got one chair, but he gave me a free keychain, and it was wooden, and it was, circled, and it had etched in his business. I'm like, where did you? I said, dude, I'm a business owner. I have a resale certificate, the whole 9 yards. Where'd you get this from? And he gave me a business card of another guy and said, this guy does all my work, so I'm going to work on that. But other than my T-shirts on Teespring, and I think you changed recently to something else.
Zazzle.
Yeah, Zazzle. That's it. I tried to get on Zazzle. I just haven't really done the effort I should have. Yeah, I mean, other than my T-shirts on Teespring, and I've got to find the link. I have no idea where it is. That's about it, other than my branded Fancytailaquatics foods.
Well, is it named Fancytailaquatics store on Teespring?
It should be. I'll have to look it up. Matter of fact, you know what I hate about that is they don't alert you when you sell a shirt. So unless you physically go there to look, I don't know. Here's the link. Never mind. I'm ignorant. I do have the Guppy Life shirts I put in there recently. Is that the link? Does that work?
That looks good.
Yeah, there it is.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. No,
but,
thank you.
If you download the Teespring app, you'll get notifications when you sell something.
Now, see, you're assuming my phone has internet. I have a dial phone. It doesn't do anything. Now, maybe on my iPad or something.
You mean you got a dumb phone? You don't have a smartphone?
No. I mean, okay, dude, I'm almost 50 years old, right? I am old school. you know, if you're trying to text me, I can't text you back. I'm not going to punch number 1 3 times in a row to get the letter C.
Well,
That's
I'm
not
gonna I'm
happening.
gonna pull a Corey and a Bob on you, Bob Steamfight. They said if Susan can do it, you can do it. I'm 60. I turned 60 this year.
Well, I mean, I get it, but honestly, I have my phone's actually a prepaid cell phone. I pay, get this, everybody, be shocked. I pay $30 for every 3 months. And I can make all the phone calls I want to. You all can pay $100 a month for whatever, for your fancy smancy app-ridden phone where you can Google it. My computer. That's what my Google is. All right. I don't need a phone. You know, I have no friends anyway. Nobody calls me.
Somebody said that's really old school, a flip phone. I miss my flip phone because to me, I felt Star Trek-y. You okay? Like beam me up, Scotty.
Mine is literally a flip phone. Yes. Yes. But you know what? $30 for 3 months is $10 a month, right? And I only get charged if I actually make a phone call. So, you know,
That's
whatever.
really good. That's a good deal. My I guess when they had the AT&T store, a lot of times they were polite to me because if it works, I don't change it out for nothing. I don't upgrade because it's the next new thing out. I'm not a trender. I don't follow trends. I do my own thing. And so when I would go into the store to buy an actual upgrade for my phone, they looked at it and said, politely said, I've never seen anything like this. And of course, Rod, he's got to rub it in. He goes, it's a dinosaur. That's why you haven't seen it.
I hear you.
I said, well, it still worked, but it was 3G. And everybody was like, oh, we don't support 3G anymore. And I'm like, I don't care. My phone takes a phone call.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, I noticed one thing on here on the Google Hangouts. That's not Fancytailaquatics. It looks like I was on a fishing trip there on that picture that you saw, and we were fishing off of North Carolina. And I was a little bit better looking back then, a little younger. But I got to change that out completely.
Yeah, you have to go into your Google account and change your photo.
Yeah, well, again, technology, see?
Bob Kaler says, I was in first grade when you were born, Susan. Well, that's still under 10 years, Bob.
Wow.
Oh.
But anyway, I definitely appreciate everything. I know we're getting close to the end of the hour. And maybe if anybody has any questions they might like to ask her or me about fish, maybe. I mean, again, I'm not trying to hijack your channel.
No, you're welcome. And I appreciate you even putting that out on the format here. Q Aquatics says, I'm with you, Susan. 60 this year. Yep. Susie's going to be 60. Michael Aquarium from UK, he's just laughing at both of us. And
well, we're old fools and fish nerds is what we are.
We got some youngins in here. Aquatic Express is how old is he? I think he just turned 16.
16, googly moogly.
Yeah, I sold him some of my my new strain, what I'm calling the yellow tiger Moscow, whatever. I don't even know what I'm calling.
Yeah,
they're not yellow anymore. They're turning green and orange and blue. Yeah, the F2s are just beautiful. They're this mint green mosaic that came out. His body's shorter than his father. His fathers are almost 2.5, 3 inches long guppies. I mean, these fish are giant fish.
Right.
And they're not breeding true yet, but it's fascinating, like you experienced in your coal tanks. You get some beautiful fish. If they would just breed true, you'd have a whole new strain. Then you could be rich and retire, right?
I have thought about that. Honestly, And I'm doing an experiment right now. I've got 2 Hawaiian blue virgin females in a tank, and I've been looking, and they still look virgin to me. I'm going to place a purple Moscow male into him when he's ready, because they're too young, and he will just, I don't know what the term is. He will breed them to death.
Yeah, he'd wear them out. Yeah.
He would, and they won't make it. So I'm going to try to do a hybrid of that. I've got 2 tanks down there in the main room. I'm going to empty out completely the red albinos and anyway, I'm going to mix them all up. That's going to free up. Hey, somebody just bought some more guppies from me. Thanks a lot. Yeah, have black blue guppies. I don't know if you see those, Susan. They're beautiful.
I need some more. I've lost my adults, and I've got just a few fry, but the fry are not growing fast. They're very small and skinny, and I've done the parasite clean out, and I've done salt, I've done water changes, and I do not know what's going on with these little bitty fish.
Are they like really skinny, like belly sunken?
No, they're not sunk in. They're just long and thin. Yep.
Are they swimming horizontal, or are they trying to swim at a 45-degree angle?
They're doing horizontal swimming.
Okay.
But they are staying towards the top. They will swim all over the tank, but a lot of times I think, oh, they've all died. I don't see any, but they're at the top, mid-water. There's, I just don't get it.
Well, I'm going to tell you straight up front, I have been trying to get my blue deltas going, okay, for over a year. I keep losing half of them, and half of them live, and I'm basically got, like the fry, and they'll grow up to about midway and kind of get to where I could sell them, and they die off. I don't get it.
I think the Moscows can be line bred a lot. So, just finding a good strain, a good source is, I think, the issue.
Well, I bought them from an IFGA breeder, supposedly, that were good stock. But I need to I've got goals this year. I'm going to reintroduce some new lines, cull out a bunch of the ones that have gone to crap. And matter of fact, they might be bird feed when I go buy the swimming pool and we'll put out in the backyard. So we'll kind of go from there.
Oh, I'm switching cameras on you. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. I love my pole jean shot. Oh, I look so cool back fishing. Hey, we caught a lot of bluefish and Spanish mackerel that day, I'll have you know.
Wow, I've never even fished large fish like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice.
I heard it's quite exhilarating.
That's a nice shot.
Yeah, that's my 55. And that shot right there is that red shoulder severum. And his face is so turquoise blue. Oh, he is a beautiful fish. Of course, that tank looks a mess.
Compared to mine, no.
I've got dead snail. You see all that white stuff?
That's dead snails. Yep. You know what I've been using? If you want to get, are you a snail person or not?
Yeah, I have snails everywhere.
Have you ever seen my video on oyster shell?
I need to go back and watch it, probably.
Yep. If any of y'all raise snails, and I've got thousands and thousands, guess what? They sell on eBay, people. They sell. All right. But you've got to have oyster shell to raise the hardness and keep the calcium going. And what'll happen with snails, if any of y'all didn't know, again, I'm not trying to hijack anything. I know we're getting down to the wire here. What'll happen, you'll notice if you put a lot of calcium in the water, where a snail shell might be white, after about a week or two, you'll notice it's clear and crystal clear at the front, and it'll keep growing back. So you can kind of see from a snail's life, like my mystery snail tank, how the calcium's working on them by the growth, and then it gets clearer and clearer, and then the white moves to the back, where it kind of gets whitish.
Mm-hmm.
Point nobody cares about, but I just thought I'd put it out there.
Well, I didn't know if I was giving the tank behind me too much Tums because
No, Tums is fine.
it seemed like they turned whiter.
Well, I did Tums for a long time. Garth Brooks, I don't look like Garth Brooks. Google him. He's a lot more handsome. Um, but when I went to Oyster Shell, and literally, I've got a video on that and how much to put in per 10 gallons because I did a lot of scientific research on it. I looked at papers. You know, people, when I put out videos, I don't put them out blindly. There is a method to the madness. But I did a bunch of research from MIT, I believe, and some others. And I figured out exactly how much to put in.
Okay.
Again, I get excited. I'm sorry.
Hey, get excited. I'm just tired. You know, I
No
woke
problem.
up from a nap to do this because it feels like 3 weeks since I've done a live stream.
Oh,
and
goodly.
I had to unpack my laptop and put it together at 4 o'clock today.
Well, you are a blessing to this hobby. Congrats on your 1,000.
Oh, thank you, Scott. I tell you, what's irritating is those views. I'll get almost 50%, and then they drop to 46% again. I'm like, they don't love me.
Well, have you ever seen my analytics video I did where I have proven to me that 70 to 75% of the views you get are not going to be subscribers?
Right.
They are just random people who happen to find your video, you know, and when you find a cool topic, you know, some of mine got 4,000 or 5,000 views or more. Now, that's cool that you want to learn about, parasites in your aquarium. But can I really do a part 2 to parasites in your aquarium? Maybe an updated version and, you know, this and that. But the problem is a lot of my biggest videos I can't really improve upon.
I understand. Some of my most view videos was hang out in the fish room with Susan. I said, why did that one get 1,200 views? There wasn't anything wonderful on that.
Right.
I didn't even stick to a title. I don't even know.
I hear you. I don't get half mine either. Another one was my shrimp hatchery review, you know, where I did that little stupid hatchery I bought, which I love and it works great, but I don't get it and I cannot improve on it.
Just keep tossing the tags around.
I guess. I mean, but I try not to ever rehash anything I've done. Now, I've done it. Obviously, we all have. Because you run out of topics after a while. You know, maybe you're going to hit this and hit it again. But you can't really hit it 3 and 4 times, you know, over a year's period. You know, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, and the things that I find out as a YouTube creator in the fish fam hobby, what interests me doesn't necessarily interest you. Like right now, these self-cloning crayfish is the coolest things I've ever had.
Not to me.
Her second brood was over 50 babies. And they're just popping around, swimming backwards everywhere.
I love that you love that. It's just not me.
Right. See, that's fine. It's individual respect. It's fine with me. It doesn't offend me that you don't like them because they can destroy your plants.
Right.
I love watching them rearrange the substrate.
Now, don't get me wrong. I have watched the video, but they're just not my thing. Like you could have a video about freshwater eels. No, not going to happen. I just,
Yeah, that's over at Oddball.
Yeah, exactly. And somebody asked about cuttlebone, just shrimp. Yeah, cuttlebone's fine. Now, keep in mind, it will sink. Put it in your tank, but give it about 3 to 4 days before it sinks. The shrimp and, shrimp, snails, whatever, they'll eat on it. It'll add calcium to the water table. That is fine.
I use crushed coral as well.
That works. Yep.
And it only takes a very little. This is a 1 pound bag. No, it's more than 1 pound. I don't remember. But anyway, I just put a little bit in like a pudding bowl and stick it down into the um, aquarium. And it takes a while for the uh, the chemical exchange of calcium. So it's a gradual change in the hardness and the pH of the water so it doesn't shock your fish. It's very natural. Like you said, the oyster shells, the cuttlebone, and crushed coral. And I believe there's other products out there that I don't know of right now.
Right.
But my snails just love Tums. And when I had mystery snails, it was hilarious watching a mystery snail get on top of a Tum
Right.
and get all of that white dust all over his face. And my husband said, "What is he doing? Snorting coke or something?"
Maybe.
I said you won't see him for a couple days because he's so he's so high on his calcium right now.
That is very true. I've got a ton of oyster shell in that tank. Oh my goodness. I've got mystery snail eggs all over the place because I let the water down about 3 inches.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know how to, I'm just going to let them go natural because I've got to figure out how to hatch the eggs. I don't know how to do it.
I hate it that I was hatching some out one time, but I did not get the holes large enough that they could fall through and get into the water underneath of the container, and
Right.
they just dried up. Man, I forget. I think I left and was out of town for a week and came back, and I'm like, they hatched out, but they couldn't get to the water.
I've tried to take them by hand after about 7 or 8 days and then try to squeeze them out and ended up crushing. Yeah, I've got to watch. Rachel O'Leary has a video on there, and I believe L.R. Brett's and others. I'm going to have to go to the tub container version where, you put down wet paper towels and you got to, you could remove the egg clutches easily off the glass. That's
Yeah.
not hard after about 3 or 4 days.
Uh-huh.
And you need high humidity, which right now my garage would be perfect because it's been in the 90s in Louisville. So I'm gonna probably have to try to go that route. I'm screwing up. I'm screwing the pooch on this, man. I've killed more than I needed to.
Oh, I know it. And it's a learning process. We hate to lose anybody. I'm going to take a few minutes to say hi to Valley Fish. We have Lacey's Place in here that came in. I know there was a few more that came in that the chat scrolled up. But I wanted to let everybody know that I really appreciate them coming out, hanging out. Don't forget to hit that like button. Go over and visit Fancytailaquatics on YouTube. Look for him on Facebook and check out that link. I will grab it and put it in the description after I do all my homework after the stream. And Scott, I want to tell you thanks so much for joining the panel tonight. It was a whole lot of fun and a whole lot of good information from you, and I appreciate it.
I thank you so much for asking me.
Well, thank you again. And everybody in the chat, thank you for joining Susan for SLC Aquatics, hashtag FishFamMom. And Bob, this is for you. Bob at Kaler's Aquatics. Love you, Bob Kaler and Daryl Deemer and Angelo's Fish Tanks just popping in here. Hey, Angelo, I missed you earlier. Y'all have a great evening, and I hope to catch you next week at the same time. God bless.
God bless and thank all of you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.